I just found out about Karl a few days ago. And I learned, I've been studying, I made the same mistake that he talks about everybody else made, studying laws and codes and court cases for 3.5 years. Because me and my wife were stuck in a CPS battle where our family was split apart and we've done nothing wrong. I filed a federal suit on January 5th, which was, I was proud of it, 156 pages of crap based on everything I've been just learning since Thursday listening to Karl. And I think he's right. Because of everything I've been reading and researching, I cannot find any fault in what he's saying. So one of my questions I have is, how do I rescind the federal filing without dismissing the case to file a proper claim? Or do I just do that?
You filed a case in the United States District Court?
Yes, Northern District of Albany, U.S. Federal Court.
I mean, you basically, to me, you filed it in the wrong court. You should have filed it in federal court.
That's what I did file it in.
No, you filed it, you just said the United States District Court.
Yes, it's the U.S. Federal Court, Northern District of New York.
Okay, well, you're only supposed to file in federal court. So you filed it in, what was the exact title?
The United States Federal Court.
Okay, the easy way to describe it is, what's the name of the building? What's the name on the side of the building? In Alabama, it's called the Frank M. Johnson Complex. Right, so what I would be doing is I'd be moving in a federal court at the Frank M. Johnson Complex. I like the rules of federal court. If I didn't like the rules of federal court, I'd be moving it in my court at the Frank M. Johnson plant, like I did with Jesse and Jonathan. I did with Jesse. It was the Arsenal Court at Queens Bench of New Brunswick.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know the rules of a federal court up there in Canada, but I know the rules of federal court here in the United States, and they're lovely. I don't like the United States District Court rules. They're too complicated, convoluted, and there's too much code and case law citation. I can't be bothered with all that nonsense. So I went to the federal court route. I like the rules of federal court. Federal court, okay, that's why I like that we have Canadians that listen to the show, because I say to people in Canada, did you have a federal court up there? And they say, yes, we do. And you go, wait a second, when did Canada become part of the United States? It's like, okay, sir, it's called the United States of Canada, the United States of Mexico. That's the name of their country. We're not the only United States on planet Earth, and we're not the only nation that has federal courts. China has federal courts. They move on They move under Chinese rules. They move under Canadian rules.
So if I'm understanding exactly what you're saying, the James T. Foley Courthouse is the one I filed it in, which
that's
goes
what
by the
Northern. So, like I said, now what rules do you want to play under? You want to play under your rules? Do you want to play under federal court rules? Do you want to play under the United States District Court rules? What do you want to play under Queensberry rules? What rules do you want to play under? So do you want to play on maritime rules? What rules do you want to play under?
I want to take it into the common law but knowing what you've been
saying, if you want to go into the common law side, if you're in England, you want to go on Queen's Bench, and in this nation, you go through the federal court, because that's where there's a court record, where the magistrate is independent of the tribunal, and you want just to talk to your fellow Americans. That's what you want to do. You want to talk to the people of this nation. You don't want to talk to a legal entity. But if you go into the United States District Court, you're going to be talking to legal entities.
Yes, I understand that part of it. So this is what I'm asking. Since I basically, because of lack of knowledge, I filed this 156-page brief when I listened to you and found out, crap, I didn't have to do all that work.
All right.
How do I rescind that brief and file a proper filing for the common law court without having to pay $400 all over and dismissing the whole case?
The case in the United States District Court. And one thing I guess you could probably do is you could ask them, say, I believe I filed this case in the wrong court. Basically you'd ask them, has the other side answered yet?
Oh, yeah, we're sitting waiting for the judge to rule on a motion to dismiss. The return date was the 23rd, and we just got a supplementary response the other day. We still haven't got a ruling.
Yeah. Well, the only bad about that is you basically said, I want to rent out this venue to do a polka dance party. We're basically done with the party, and I'd like my money back because I found out we're supposed to be doing flamingo dancing or fucking ballroom dancing. Oops, I forgot. We weren't supposed to be polka dancing. You know, so you basically used up the venue, the court resources, the time, and put everybody to work, and everybody did what you wanted them to do. Now you're saying, well, I want you to do something else instead. But what I'm saying is you don't have $400 to move the next court into that public building. All you have to basically say, can you just tender me the bill of what I owe, and can I make payments? Just like the other guy said, I was trying to get Felix on the phone when he was saying that the sheriff's department was coming down with all flavors of hell on him in Australia because he wasn't paying the parking tickets or whatever tickets he was getting. It was $600-something worth of tickets, and he couldn't pay it. And they were threatening to come to his house and take his property and auction it off. And I just said, look, I'm more than willing to make payments on this debt. If you believe I owe $400 or $600, can I make payments? And they'll let you make payments.
Oh,
will they let you make payments? Will they let you make payments like Christmas club payments that they're not going to give you access to the court until the payment is in full because they don't trust you? Or they're going to say, you know what, if you put up a $400 bond, you can make payment, and then once you pay the payment off, we'll release the bond to you, back to you, but we'll hold the bond in case you default on your payments. You see what I'm saying? There's all kinds of options to work with these people if you don't have the money. You could actually just use the old, according to the common law, you know, the courts free to man, because man obviously are the ones who, you know, created the courts, and the man's the creator of the position of clerk, and man created the position of judge. And without man, there would be no court. So I wish to access my court, you know, without, you know, having to compensate for its use, which I don't think is proper, because everybody then would be running into the courts every 5 seconds thinking it's a free dance hall, and everybody would be just dancing their ass off, and, you know, and nobody would get, you know, it's clogged.
I don't remember the case. I'd have to look. I know I've got a copy of it. But, yeah, I did find that case where they're not supposed to be charging that, but they shot me down on that one.
In the United States District Court, you have to pay because that's their rules. But you didn't file in a federal court. In a federal court, you don't have to pay. But what I'm trying to once something like this gets out that I'm saying, all of a sudden all you nut jobs are going to be running out there putting 10,000 claims that somebody bent the blade of grass on your front lawn and you want $1 billion because he's wearing a cop uniform. And the next thing is, dude, I'm not telling you, okay? Yeah. I'm just telling people. Okay, I know people. I'm from New York. Yeah. I'm a great judge of people. The people who listen to these kinds of shows are wackos, okay? They're going to just put all this crazy paperwork into the courts and just clog up the courts because somebody bent a blade of grass and he's wearing a police uniform and they hate cops, okay? Mm-hmm. Or they stopped him because he was speeding. Or they got a parking ticket. It's like, oh, you got a parking ticket. When? You know, the benefit of having parking patrol people is because you're going to get a band of gypsies or people who are lowlifes who want to live in a van, poop on a sidewalk because you don't believe it. Go to New York City. Go to New York City and see where the people poop. They poop right there in a gutter. They pull up their skirt, pull up their dress, and take a poop squat right in the street. When my kids first saw that, they're like, no, just keep walking away. There's no bathrooms available to these people. Just walk away. Now, believe me, there's a great reason to have policing departments and parking attendants because bands of gypsies will move into these cities. They'll squat. They'll say, this is common grounds, and we're a bunch of stinking hippies that don't take baths, and we're just going to poop all over the place. And this makes it easy for me to go to work because all I have to do is wake up, take a poop in the street, and walk over there to the factory and go to work. I'm going to park here in the street all day, all night, and nobody's going to do it. How are we going to drive our stuff? When do I get a chance to park? Oh, the gypsy hippies are going to be like, oh, no, I'm parking here first. You know, I have the right to be here. You know, so, Jesus.
I used to deliver groceries in Manhattan. I saw a lot of what you said. I think the people overall are pretty great. I mean, New Yorkers are great people. But, you see some of that.
Yeah, my kids saw it all the time. It's funny, man. It's like this really nice black lady dressed really nice in a dress, just spreads her legs and starts peeing on the sidewalk standing up. And my kids are like, I said, look, you know, the options you have here is, some guy pooped in a gutter too, and it's funny. And I said, you got some options here. The lady's going to say you got a problem, and you're going to get into a fight. The lady's going to say, can you come over here and help me? And then I guess you got to help. You know, or the guy's going to pick up the poop and throw it at you. I said, you don't see nothing in New York. You don't get involved. You know, this ain't L.A. You don't care. You know, you just turn around and walk away. You don't see nothing. You know, just look at the sky and say, oh, what a lovely day. You don't give a damn what's going on around you, okay? You just make it home alive, okay? That's the mission statement. We make it home alive. We don't get involved.
Like you, I heard your story, read your story about your situation a long time ago. Yeah, I was forced into this too. I didn't want to have to do this because I enjoyed driving a truck every day, being with my family, and then CPS decided to file false neglect petitions. And I've been on this road ever since, just trying to put a stop to them.
The only problem is that if they file neglect charges on you, why didn't you just say, you're damn right I neglect my kids?
Well, I didn't know all that then.
You didn't know the definition of the word neglect. Because negligence just means you made an accident. It didn't mean you did anything with deliberate, wanton, or intent to cause harm, injury, or loss. It didn't mean you actually. The negligence is an accident. It's like when you get charged with negligence, it means because, like, you sneezed or you blinked.
Yeah, but here's the problem. When you read the transcripts, they admit the kids were healthy, house was clean, kids are fed.
I didn't say that. I said negligence.
Yeah.
You say, yes, of course I neglect my children. Of course I do. At night I close my eyes and go to sleep. I can't watch my kids 24 hours, 7 days a week like you people want me to do. You want me to put a little chain? Oh, that's right. I can't put a chain around them. But you want me to put them like on pills, on drugs, make them little tiny zombies, make them watch ridiculous cartoons or videotapes all day, and then that way they can't possibly scrape their knees, fall down, get a bruise, you know, twist an ankle, you know, because an insurance policy raises up because of Obamacare. Then all of a sudden now we got to get health coverage for my kid because he broke his leg, and you got to jump in and fucking pay for it, and you don't want to make sure my kid, you know, is like running around in a bubble. You know, well, I've got a bubble boy. My kid's going to play, break his legs, bust his nose, and I don't give a damn. You can say I'm negligent. Yeah, that's fine. You know what? I'm not paying attention to what he's doing. Why? Because I got my own damn life to do. He's doing his life. He's learning. He's growing. He's experienced tragedy. He's experienced life. He's understanding pain and fear and frustration and loss and suffering. He's going through that gamut of human emotions. Why? Because he's a human. And this is what we've been doing for 10,000 years. And if you don't like it, lady, file a claim. But complaining, my wife gives me enough of that bullshit at home. You file a claim laying over me, that's just lovely. I don't give a damn. Complain all you want. I totally agree with everything you complain about. Now, make a claim I've done something wrong. Not negligence. Make a claim I've done something wrong. That I woke up in the morning and I said, I'm going to make sure that kid gets hurt. I'm going to make sure that kid doesn't have food, clothing. I'm going to make sure. Prove that I did it with willful, wanton, and deliberate intent. Do it. And you're never going to be able to prove it. You can never prove fraud. It can't be done. You got to get into the mind of the man who did it. And unless the man steps on an open court, he says, you're damn right I committed fraud. As far as he's concerned, like, say, at Gordon Hall, he believes he was doing a righteous justice thing, that helping people do offshore banking or defer assets from the IRS, whatever. You know, he thought he was doing a good thing. He didn't commit fraud. He believed what he believed. Now, the IRS has a totally different opinion of what he was doing. They think he was, doing all these horrible things. And he was like, no, I was just helping my fellow man keep their property a little longer and keeping it, and because they earned it and they should have it. And, you shouldn't be able to take it away from them. Well, they had a difference of opinion. Well, the only problem is that Gordon Hall didn't know how to move through a freaking court. He didn't know how to just say, hey, who's the plaintiff? And I said, where are they? Or where is it? Is it or who? Who's going to testify that it's for loss, harm, or injury due to my acts and inactions by helping my fellow man defer payments to something called Coca-Cola IRS? Show me. Bring him forth. See, he just didn't have to move a court. Just because all these guys are great in tax code and all sorts of crap doesn't mean they know how to move a court. And before you guys get involved with, well, I'm going to help people with taxes, and I'm going to help people with divorce cases, I'm going to help people with bankruptcy, you better know how to get in and the hell out of a court, because someday you're going to be put in chains, shackled, dragged down there and say, hey, are you helping these people beat the IRS? Are you helping these people beat the social services? Is that what you're doing? It's like, who's talking to me? I'm talking to you. I am talking to you, or what's talking to me? Who am I addressing? You see, and I know how to talk to the other side and get them to say, oh, is a judge? You mean a what is talking to me? Because my dog is a judge. He could judge whether he should, lick one side of his butt or the other side of his butt first. He's a good judge of the meat smells like stink or the meat's worth to eat. The dog's a great judge. What kind of judge are you? The one who licks his butt on the right side first or the left side first? What kind of judge are you? I don't ask you what you are. I ask you who you are.
I love the way you put things. I have to say, it blew me away. I found you about 2.5 years ago. I called your number on the website.
Oh, I didn't know it's lost.
Answered.
I didn't know it's lost.
So,
you said you found me. You said you found me. I didn't know it's lost.
You're not lost.
Oh, okay.
I found your uncommon. I found your website.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I misplaced that either. Thank you.
You're welcome anytime. But so I didn't do no more with it. I just continued to try to fight this fight, and me and my wife just been through hell. I mean, it's just, and now everything I've been listening to all your shows, and I'm gonna say, I can't believe it. It's this simple. Because honestly, with all the research I've done, I don't take the opinions as that is the law and that's how it is. No, that's not how it is. Because I've learned a lot from my father in the past. But even the stuff you're talking about, he doesn't necessarily know. When it comes to taxes,
why don't you go to my talk show 127469? Why don't you go to episode 81? And don't listen to the first 20 minutes. That's just Bali saying hello to me, like for the first time, and asked me to come to England. And I said I don't want to go to England because the food is terrible, the weather sucks, and the women ain't all that hot. Don't listen to the first 20 minutes. You're wasting your time. That's just me and Bali talking about if I come to England. But the 20 minutes after that, a Mexican man calls me up and says his Mexican wife was arrested for drunk in public, fighting with the police, and having the baby fall out of the car seat in the truck. And she didn't do anything that the social services wanted to do, didn't do the AA classes, didn't do family planning, didn't do anger management, still had the criminal felony cases against her. And the prosecutor laughed and said, oh, but she did do this. I, a woman, Maria Esteban, whatever the hell the name was, I claim the wrong of robbery. My property was robbed on this day, see Exhibit A. I will require compensation of $1 a second until the property is returned. And the prosecutor laughed. And the Mexican husband is saying, and he laughed. He scoffed at it. And he said, even the public defender that they gave us said, no, I'm not putting that into the court. That's ridiculous. So the prosecutor said, yeah, this is ridiculous. This is all they've done. And the judge looked at the Maria lady and says, is this true? Are you really going to charge us $1 a second? She's like, sí, señor, yes, $1 a second. And then the judge said to the prosecutor, restore her property immediately. And then the prosecutor said, but Your Honor, she hasn't complied with any of the court orders. He says, you know the law, restore her property immediately. And then the guy said, and the daughter's name was Serenity, and Serenity was restored. So go listen now. It's just some, what you guys would say, like some wet fact or being a lady who doesn't even speak our freaking language. Walked into the court with some silly little paper, like me Tarzan, she Jane Steelbone, Get Back Bone. That's the perfect lawsuit right there. Me Tarzan, she Jane. There's the caption. There's the parties. Me Tarzan, she Jane. Jane Steelbone. There's the cause of action. There's the. And then what's the remedy? Give back bone. And then if you want to give an order, give back bone. If you don't give back bone, you get back 2 bones every 2 days or something like that. Until bone is returned. It's something simple like that. It's so simple to write a lawsuit or to make a claim that this Mexican. I made sure I made it so simple that this Mexican woman who spoke like no English can understand those few words that I put on there for her. And I told her husband, I said, explain to her in Spanish because. She should be able to understand what I'm saying right there. It's so simple. And he said, he'll work with her. And she did, and she got a kid back. It was a 3-year-old kid who walked across the courtroom and went back home with the mom and the dad. She still had felony charges against her for fighting with the cops in public and being drunk in public.
Yeah. Now, I have been writing some papers up because we have a scheduled violation hearing for contempt of court October 13th because I've refused to follow their orders.
Well, why would you refuse to follow the orders?
The reason I refuse is because if the foundation of
what's so hard? Tell me one order they told you. Just one order. For shits and giggles.
They want me to do all this psychological treatment and all this testing and this, that, and the other, and I...
Tell them, I'd love to carry out your order. It's going to cost me this much money for my bus fare, or my car broke down, and I'm going to have to get another alternator or a water pump. It's going to be $350 for that. And then my license was revoked, so it's going to cost $500 for that. I'm going to have to get a time away from work, so can you place that order in a form of writing so I give it to my boss and explain why I'm not, performing a function and carrying out a service or producing a product for him, like we agreed on. And it's going to cost, roughly, it's going to be $980.17. And I'm going to require payment up front because at this time, I don't have the money to carry out your order in the way you wish in a proper manner. And I wish to carry out all your orders. But the big thing is, if you're a party to that case, you can't make a claim for compensation. Okay? If you're a member of my family, okay, and you're my daughter or my son, and I tell you to go get a psychological evaluation, you can't give me, well, Dad, you got to pay me this to go do it. No, I'm your damn dad. I'm in charge here. I'm the judge. I'm the one who makes the ultimate rulings here. You're just a lowly defendant. You're just a lowly respondent. You get your ass in that car and you get down there and go do it. And I don't want to hear no crap out of you. I'm going to hold you in contempt. So now, if you're a party to that case, whatever case number they have, and you still allow them to use your name in that case, and you're not noticing them, that I don't know why you have my name on that case, because I'm not a party to this. I have no knowledge of any legal proceedings or legal matters pertaining to my property. Now, this legal name that you created, John Jr. over here, that's a legal person that you have jurisdiction and control over. But you don't have any jurisdiction over the flesh and blood, the man, my property. See Exhibit A and put a picture of your kid there. That's my property. Now, you have jurisdiction over this legal person known as John Jr. because I was stupid enough to give him a name, and I made his name public because if you didn't put his name in the public, you can't claim. The government can't make a claim against something that isn't named because they only operate in the second dimension. So what are they going to put on a piece of paper? We took blank into custody. Blank what? A parrot? A penguin? A child? We took a child named what? What's the name of the child? I ain't telling you his definite name. I'm not going to create a legal person for you. The parents created the legal, helped them. The state created the legal person. Well, I'm not going to create a legal person for you. I'm not going to reveal his name to the public. It's none of your damn business. It's the name I gave him. Like I gave him a drink of water. I gave him yo-yo. He doesn't have to share the yo-yo with the world. I gave it to him. Well, I don't have to give it to you. Just if you want to give me my name, if you want to give you his name, give me $1 million. I'll be more than glad to give you his yo-yo too.
Well, I remember in one of your episodes where you corrected a lady on the term violated.
That's funny.
Now, before you go into that description, that is exactly how my wife and I feel about what they did to my daughter.
Yeah, but
they violated our daughter.
Yeah, but conjecture and speculation, it's not tangible. It has to be broken bones. Your mama told you. Any broken bones, any blood, broken bones, no, then you ain't got a claim. Go outside and play again.
To force her to go through an invasive medical exam when there was never an allegation of abuse just because
their mom and dad didn't know how to just make a simple claim to give me back my property. I'm going to start charging whoever's holding that property in naked possession $1 a second, and it's 80,400 seconds in a day, so the bill is running quite high really quickly. I'll give you 3 days before I start billing you. Just like Jonathan and Jesse did. Jonathan and Jesse did the same. Jesse did the same thing. It's like, I'll give you 3 days to get those children back, or I'm going to start, the meter's going to start ticking. And you don't write no damn cease and desist effing letter to anybody. You have no power to threaten anybody.
Okay, so what would you write first?
To tell them that you got my property? Say, I believe that you're in possession of my property. See Exhibit A. I require the immediate return of my property. I know you want to cause no harm to your fellow man, and the return will be forthwith. If you wish to keep my property, which you may, I am going to start charging you $1 a second for every second you hold my property in your possession. Have a lovely, blessed day.
Well, that's what I plan on writing this weekend.
Yeah, it's all lovely, swinging, no threats. Yay! You want my property? Not a problem. You want my property? You need my son to wash your car, rake leaves, mow your lawn? Not a problem. I rent them out real cheap, $1 a second. I hope you don't need it for more than 60 minutes because I don't think you got wallet deep enough to pay for him for 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying he comes at a very high price. That's why they got rid of all this. They got rid of the word chattel. That's why it's like, we don't use chattel anymore. Oh, no. Why? Because if it was chattel, I could rent out or lease out or loan out my children to go help you pick your corn. You want my children? You need help picking your corn? Yes. Okay, well, I need my children over here to help with the cows, but you know what? If you need my children to come over there, I'll let you borrow 10 of my kids for 50 bushels of corn. How's that? Well, for everyone they pick for you, they pick one for us. How's that? And the father will say, God bless you. I'll do it. Okay, your children were a very valuable commodity. It was like a horse or an oxen or a cow. The reason why people had 10, 20, 30 children was just for that reason. They didn't just do it because it was going to cost them, oh, man, it's going to cost me $80,000 a year to put this kid in college. No, they didn't care. They were making money with these kids. It was a medium of exchange. It wasn't like dollars. It wasn't like they were trading gold coins. It was a medium of exchange. I'll let you borrow 3 of my kids if you let me borrow 2 of your mules. Oh, okay, not a problem.
Yeah.
It's a medium of exchange. That's how we've been doing it since caveman time.
You're right.
Yeah, so it's no big deal. But now they're making it seem like it's a perverted word. Oh, man, I can't believe you just called your kid chattel. I can't believe you just called them property. What do you call it? What do you have kids for? To watch them swing? Yay. To take pictures of them at Disney World? Nay. No, I get them because when I'm 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, I want them to remember, hey, I'm the clown who wiped your behind. Now it's your turn to wipe mine. That's why. I gave you something, now you give me back. Yay, I'm from New York. What's in it for me? That's right. That's the way caveman's been doing since day one. They're trying to make it seem like an ugly thing.
That's not the way I look at it.